Good morning, class 8th. Today I am going to tell about the chapter number 1, that is transport of food and minerals in plants. Plants get water and nutrients from the soil. All the cells of a plant need water and nutrients, so these need to be carried all over. Cells containing chlorophyll in the leaves manufacture food, which is carried to other parts of the plant. The well-developed vascular system of plants is composed of xylem and phloem. Both xylem and phloem extend from the tip of the roots to the tip of the leaves. Now see what is xylem and what is phloem. Xylem transports water and minerals upwards from the roots. On the other hand, phloem transports food manufactured in the leaves to all parts of the plant. You have already learned that xylem tissue and phloem tissue are made up of two or more different types of cells. Cells that make up xylem tissue are specialized to conduct water and minerals. Similarly, cells that make up phloem tissue are specialized to transport the food prepared by the leaves to different parts of the plant. Now children, see the absorption of water and minerals. Plants absorb water and minerals from the soil. They do this with the help of the root hairs present on roots. Root hair cells are unicellular, thin-walled outgrowths of the epidermis, which is the outermost layer of a root. Water is absorbed by the root hair cells by a process called osmosis. Osmosis is the movement of water through a semi-permeable membrane from an area of its higher concentration to an area of its lower concentration. The concentration of water molecules in the soil is usually higher than it is inside the root hair cells. This causes osmosis to occur, and so water is absorbed by the root hair cells from outside. Once water is absorbed, its concentration in the root hair cells becomes more than that in the adjacent cells of the inner tissues. This process continues until water reaches the xylem tissue in the root. Thus, water moves from the root hair cell through the root cortex to the xylem in the root. Inside the xylem, water travels upwards from one cell to another against the force of gravity. Now see the absorption of minerals. Most minerals needed by plants are dissolved in the water in the soil. Some of these are calcium, potassium, magnesium and nitrogen. The absorption of these minerals by the roots takes place by two processes, diffusion and active transport. So what is diffusion? Sometimes the concentration of mineral molecules is higher in the soil than inside the root hair cells. This is when the root hair cells absorb minerals by diffusion. Diffusion is the movement of salt or mineral molecules from a region of their higher concentration to a region of their lower concentration. Now see the second one, that is active transport. So the movement of minerals ion from a region of their lower concentration to a region of their higher concentration is called active transport. This process involves the use of energy. Active transport is the opposite of diffusion. Now children, see the transport of water and minerals. The transport of water and minerals in plant occurs. Root hair cells absorb mineral salts mainly by the active transport. The mineral salts then reach the root cortex. Root hair cells also absorb water from the soil through osmosis. Now children, see the difference between the diffusion and osmosis. So diffusion is the movement of molecules or ions of a substance from a region of their higher concentration to a region of their lower concentration. On the other hand, osmosis is the movement of water molecules through a semi-permeable membrane from a region of their higher concentration to a region of their lower concentration. Now see the transpiration and absorption. So there is a direct relationship between absorption and transpiration. As water is lost through transpiration, more water is absorbed as more water is required. This creates a suction pressure which pulls up water from the xylem of the roots to the stem and then to the leaves. It is called transpiration pull. Thus, the amount of water in the roots gets reduced. In turn, water from the surrounding soil passes on to the root hair cells by the process of osmosis, and thus the cycle continues. Now see the factors that affects the rate of transpiration. Sunlight, the rate of transpiration is more during the day because the stomata are open. Stomata remain closed at night, so no transpiration takes place at night. The second factor is temperature. The rate of transpiration is more on a hot day as compared to a cold day. Then the third factor is wind. The transpiration rate is more if the wind is blowing. This is because the water vapor is removed faster from the leaves. Now children, see the importance of transpiration. The first importance is its cooling effect. When there is rapid loss of water vapor from a plant's aerial parts, it brings down its temperature. The second importance of transpiration is removal of excess water. As plant absorb more water than it requires, transpiration helps in removing the excess water. Now here is a translocation of food from leaves. Sugar molecules are manufactured in the green leaves of a plant during photosynthesis. They are transported throughout the plant by phloem. The transport of soluble products of photosynthesis, that is the sugar molecules, is called translocation. Now see the minerals in plants. So there are two types of minerals: macronutrients and micronutrient type of minerals. So the minerals that are required in large quantities, usually 0.2 to 0.4% of dry weight of the plant, are called macronutrients. They include nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, sulfur, calcium, etc. The minerals that are required in very minute quantities, measured in parts per million or ppm, about 0.1 to 0.2% of dry weight of the plant, are called micronutrients. Micronutrients include boron, manganese, chlorine, iron, zinc, copper, nickel and molybdenum. Now children, see how minerals are important for plants. So they are important for the growth and development. Formation of plant body, several minerals are constituents of the protoplasm and the cell wall of a plant. Minerals are important for the maintenance of cell shape. When plants do not get essential mineral nutrients in sufficient quantities, they may suffer from deficiency diseases. For example, the deficiency of zinc leads to the chlorosis disease, and its symptoms are its photosynthesis is affected, leaves turn yellow, leaves may become dwarf.